This gun is pointed right at the center of your belt. The border is behind me, mister, and you're not going to make it.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Dehner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carleton Hotel, headquarters of the man called Paladin.
You like Mr. Paladin?
This is the finest jade chess piece I've ever seen, hey boy.
Yes.
Where'd you get it?
Oh, a gift from my honorable uncle Sing Wo. He run a laundry.
Where'd Sing Wo get it?
Oh, from his great-grandfather, Hai Xiong, who got it from his grandfather Wang, who was faithful houseboy to Celestial Emperor in Imperial Court. Now it's mine. I know you like chessmen, especially knight, so would be pleased if you will accept my gift.
Well, it's very kind of you, hey boy, but I can't accept this. It'd ruin the rest of the set.
Oh, no, Mr. Paladin. Set already ruined. Day before yesterday, 3 men come to my uncle's laundry. Police think they are men who bust out of jail. They hit uncle on head. They steal money, clothes, chess set too, take everything, but they see one piece.
I see. I imagine your uncle would like to see those men caught.
Oh, yes, sir. Very much. Very bad men.
Well, you keep this, hey boy. Let me see what I can do about getting back the rest of the set. Where's Sing Wo's laundry?
On Turk Street. Oh, you can find rest of set?
I don't know, hey boy, but I'll try.
This is Frank Knight speaking for the world's most honored watch, Longines. In the conquest of the Old West, men won fame through feats of bravery and daring. Today, things are different, but fame can still be won. How wonderful to win a Nobel Prize in science, a Pulitzer Award in literature, an Olympic gold medal in sports. These great honors are symbols of achievement. In the field of time, did you know that Longines watches have won more great public honors than any other watch in the world? This is true. The highest authorities have ranked Longines watches as the finest achievement in the science and art of watchmaking. Yet, a Longines, the world's most honored watch, styled with distinction, cased in precious metal, promising a lifetime of faultless timekeeping, is not costly. Many models are priced as low as $75. And here's a suggestion. For Mother, on Mother's Day, why not a Longines watch? Your authorized Longines Whitnor jeweler will be honored to serve you.
Sing Wo, honorable uncle of Hey Boy, proprietor of the laundry on Turk Street, victim of 3 men who had stolen clothes, money, and chess set, was a wiry little man with a seamed, ageless face who had plenty to say about the details of the matter. Unfortunately, what he had to say strained the language barrier too far, at least for me. For Hey Boy, it made sense. He listened politely to Sing Wo's every word, nodding now and then and dodging now and then, since Sing Wo happened to be holding a flat iron in one hand, and Sing Wo was a man who insisted on a gesture to emphasize his words. Then suddenly he stopped, and standing like a little Buddha, listened as Hey Boy brought me up to date.
Uncle Sing Wo say what he will do if he ever catch you men.
Did he happen to describe the men, Hey Boy?
Yes, sir. Oh, plenty biggie, plenty ugly.
Well, that's not much of a description.
No, sir.
It won't be easy to find them since they have a 2 days head start.
No, sir.
I have no idea in what direction they've gone.
Uncle Sing Wo know where they go.
What?
Oh, he understands some words in American. I hear them say hide, Big Pine, then go to Canada.
Big Pine?
Yes, sir. Big Pine, Montana.
Yeah, that's up near the border. Sounds like a good place for them to get across.
They take all money Uncle Sing Wo have in world. He work hard for everything, all by himself. It's a terrible thing for old man to have nothing now. To start all over again in hard, cruel world.
Let's hope he won't have to start all over again, Hey Boy. How much cash did they steal from him?
$943. Plenty money to Sing Wo.
Plenty of money to anybody, Hey Boy. I'll see you in a few days. Tell Sing Wo everything will be all right. Good afternoon. My name is Paladin.
I'm Ma Warren. You're just in time. Supper's ready.
Good. So am I.
You look a mite lean, Mr. Paladin. You been traveling long?
Long enough. Tell me, Miss Warren, have you seen 3 men come through here any time during the past few days?
No. Friends of yours?
No, not exactly. If they were heading for Canada, they'd have to come through Big Pine, wouldn't they?
Well, it depends on where they're coming from.
The mountains.
Well, then they'd have to come through here. Mr. Paladin, the food's good, room's clean, the price is right. And you're welcome. Only one rule. You hang your guns up right there. It's a custom of the house.
I'm sorry, Miss Warren, but I never go anywhere without a gun.
Nobody comes to my table armed. It's up to you, Mr. Paladin. Hang it up or get your supper somewhere else.
What's that I smell?
We're having pheasant today. Pheasant roasted in grape leaves.
Oh. Miss Warren, you are an oasis in a desert of boiled beef.
Well, is it gun or the pheasant?
Now, I'll take the pheasant.
Good boy.
Hello, Ma.
Chuck, this here is Mr. Paladin, Chuck Anderson.
Passing through?
Slowly.
And you're staying?
A while.
Why?
Let's say I'm visiting.
Who?
He's visiting me. Hang up your gun before you go in there to eat.
Sure, Mom.
Who put the burr under his saddle?
Oh, he always talks like that, Chuck does. Dang him.
He's a stranger around here?
No. Say, now, if you expect to get any food, you better get started. Round my table, all them fellers have 4 and 5 hands.
What fellows?
Well, aside from Chuck, there's Mr. Gibson and Mr. Fry and Mr. Dayton. Well, I've got to get out to the kitchen. Now, you go on and eat whenever you get ready.
Mr. Gibson, Mr. Fry, Mr. Dayton.
Sociable, up-to-date, debonair.
What's this, a new word game?
No, I'm just mentioning the qualities that people admire in other people.
Oh, I see. If you're sociable, up-to-date, and what was that other word, debonair?
Yes, debonair. But listen to it this way. Be sociable, look smart, keep up to date with Pepsi, drink light, refreshing Pepsi, stay young and fair and debonair, be sociable, have a Pepsi.
Notice how many of your friends are serving Pepsi-Cola these days. It's the up-to-date refreshment.
Be sociable, serve Pepsi.
Just inside the door of Ma Warren's boarding house in Big Pine, there was a rack. And above the rack, a sign reading guns and hats. Since 4 gun belts were already hanging there along with 4 hats, I hung mine. Then I began to follow my nose in the direction of the dining room.
I'm Nancy Warren, Ma's daughter. She told me to save a place for you, Mr. Paladin.
Thanks. That food smells awfully good.
This way. This is Mr. Paladin, everybody. Mr. Gibson, Mr. Fry, and Mr. Dayton.
Gentlemen.
How do, Mr. Paladin? Dan Dayton.
How do you do?
And I reckon you know Chuck Anderson.
We met.
Yeah, we met. Did you miss me, sweetheart?
Oh, shut up, Chuck. I'll bring your supper right out, Mr. Paladin.
Hey, where do I sit?
Any place? Any place you like.
Shove over, Dayton. Sure. Yeah, what's your line, mister?
I'm a businessman of sorts. You live around here?
Yeah, back up the road a piece. We got 1,000 acres.
Sounds promising. What's your brand?
Brand? I don't need a brand, mister. I just tell folks what's mine, and they're smart enough to believe me.
Here we are. Now, I hope you enjoy it, Mr. Paladin. Nancy?
Coming, Ma. Thought you might like some nice hot coffee with your meal, Mr. Paladin.
Oh, thank you, Nancy.
Yeah. What about me?
Come late, eat late.
Come on, Nancy. Help me get them biscuits out of the oven.
All right, Ma.
She's got my brand.
Which one, mother or daughter?
Now, you better get one thing straight right now. In this country, we shoot rustlers and claim jumpers on sight.
That must be why Ma makes everyone check their guns.
Why, you...
This room's just full of rustlers and claim jumpers.
Cross-fished you in your own gulch, boy.
Well, I sure like to see a man sit out on the porch and enjoy a cigar after a meal, Mr. Paladin.
Oh, it was a fine meal, Miss Warren.
Thanks to the folks that bring it in, like the pheasant tonight. Mr. Gibson gave him to me. He does a lot of hunting and trapping.
Regular customer of yours, is he?
Oh, yes, he's been coming here for years. And Mr. Fry, he prospects a lot. He's always bringing in a mess of trout.
Mr. Dayton?
Dan? Well, he's a surveying for the railroad. Oh, hello, Nancy, honey.
Hello, Ma. Evening, Mr. Paladin.
Good evening, Nancy.
Are you going riding with Chuck, dear?
Oh, I don't know. Haven't made up my mind.
You will, or he will, or something one of these days. Mr. Paladin, your room's all ready whenever you want to turn in. It's the first door at the head of the stairs.
Thank you.
Good night.
Night.
Night, Nancy.
Night.
Oh, I'm getting old, I swear.
Exactly what do you do?
I have a card here that might explain.
Have gun. Will travel?
Shocked?
No. No, I'm just thinking. Can I hire you?
What for?
Chuck. He thinks he owns me. He scares everybody off, but he never says anything about getting married. I'll end up an old maid.
Oh, hardly.
Oh, yes, I will. Chuck was away for a whole month, just got back a couple of days ago, and all the time he was gone, not one fella asked me to go riding with him. Chuck's got 'em all buffaloed, and he still won't do anything serious about me.
You want him to?
Well, he's got to make up his mind one way or another.
What do you want me to do? Shoot him?
No, just make him nice and jealous.
Oh, you want him to shoot me?
Oh, no, but What's the matter?
Where'd you get that?
Oh, this? Chuck gave it to me. Why?
A jade chess piece. The rook, to be exact.
Well, I didn't know what to do with it, so I put it on a chain.
Where'd you get it?
Well, he said he bought it from somebody.
And he just got back here after being away a whole month?
Yes. Put your arms around me, quick.
Huh, what?
Hey, what's going on around here?
Well, nothing, Chuck.
I've been waiting for you to go riding.
Oh, well, that's too bad. Mr. Paladin's invited me to Eagle's Nest Butte. See the moonrise.
Look, I don't know what you're trying to start here, mister, but you'd better haul back on your reins real quick. I told you, she's got my brand.
Ready, Nancy?
Anytime.
I'm warning you, mister. Cut out. If you're still in Big Pine tomorrow morning, you're going to be buried here.
Oh, did you see the look on his face? He's fit to spit fire.
Yeah.
You're not afraid of him, are you?
It's just that I don't like complications.
Each weekday on CBS Radio, there's a bright package of lively entertainment that goes by the modest title, Just Entertainment. It's where to find Pat Buttram, his cohorts, and his warm humor. Mr. Buttram is ably aided by lovely Marion Morgan and that singing foursome called the Halloran Quartet. Just for entertainment, sample Just Entertainment with Pat Buttram tomorrow on CBS Radio. Also on the recommended list, a fascinating fact-filled 10 minutes each weeknight with Ron Cochran. Recently, he's given the Answer Please treatment to listener queries on such topics as the Chesapeake Bay's Oyster War, the Irish Sweepstakes, Spring Fever, and underseas exploration of the Arctic. Be listening tomorrow night. Discover how you can ask Ron Cochran to give your question the Answer Please. Just Entertainment and Answer Please. One for facts, one for fun. Leave your dial set where it is now to enjoy both these entertaining programs each Monday through Friday on CBS Radio.
The next morning, I was up early, moving through Big Pine, asking questions. The answers were the same everywhere. No one had seen 3 strangers riding into town in the last few days. No one knew where Chuck Anderson had gotten the jade chess piece. And no one advised asking him about it.
Good morning.
Morning, Miss Warren.
Breakfast is ready whenever you are, Mr. Paladin. Trout and steak with our hot cakes.
Don't tell me I'm the last one.
Well, Mr. Gibson left more than an hour ago with Mr. Fry. You and Chuck and Mr. Dayton's the only ones left. Hang up your gun and come along.
I'll be right there.
I'll pour you coffee.
I told you to get out of Big Pine by this morning.
That's right, you did.
Well, then get. Right now.
Sorry.
Hanging up your gun. You afraid of me?
Just afraid my breakfast will get cold. And it's a house rule.
Land sakes, Chuck, you put down that gun.
Not till he rides out of here.
Put it away, I said. Sure as my name is what it is, you'll never set foot in this house again.
Mm-hmm.
Hang it up now. Now, both of you go on in and eat your food before it gets cold.
I'll meet you outside after breakfast.
I hope so.
Mr. Paladin?
Hmm?
Mr. Paladin, did Chuck really want to shoot you?
He really did. And still does.
Oh, ain't that nice?
Oh.
Had enough breakfast, Mr. Dayton?
Yes, thanks. Have to be riding out. Gentlemen, see you later.
Now that he's gone, I want to get something straight right now.
Well, whatever on earth?
I told you I want no impoliteness
You too,
at my
Ma.
table.
Just so you know what's going on.
Well, what is going on?
You are. There's one thing I want to know. Does this fella mean anything to you?
Do you care?
You know blame well I care.
Nice to hear it.
Well, then I want to know, does this fella mean...
Hush!
Huh?
Good morning. You're just in time for breakfast. Only you'll have to leave your gun out in the hall.
I'm making the rules now, Granny. Stay put.
What's the idea? There's nothing worth stealing here.
We'll take anything we can get when we're ready. Meantime, we'll just relax a little.
You waiting for somebody?
You are smart, mister.
How about some grub? I'm starving.
Right, rustle up some breakfast, Granny.
Don't wave that gun at me.
Oh, never mind, Ma. Come on.
Not you, Chiquita. You stay here with us, just in case your ma figures on cooking up some trouble.
Well...
Go on, Granny.
Strange you should pick an out-of-the-way place like this to meet someone. And again, it's only a day from the border.
You're starting to get too smart now, mister.
Oh, I can do better than that.
Yeah, with what?
With this derringer that's pointed directly at your belly.
You're bluffing.
Call me. Tell your friend to holster his pistol, then unbuckle his belt. Go on.
All right, Rip, you do what he says.
Never mind, Rip boy.
Dan, where you been?
Waiting. I figured you for a derringer, Mr. Paladin. You want to ease the hammer down real easy, then hand it over? Gently, so I don't blow your head off.
It's too bad I didn't figure you. He give you the chess piece, Chuck?
Yeah, he gave me it. Why?
He and his friends beat up an old Chinaman in San Francisco.
I said hand over that derringer, Paladin.
Start shooting him off!
What?
Hold it, everybody, hold it. Hold it. This derringer can blow an awful big hole in a man.
That's an old trick.
Yeah, and you fell for it. Come on, get up.
Thanks, Chuck. That was good thinking.
Now, don't thank me, Fancy Pants. I just didn't want nobody else to have the pleasure of gunning you. I'm going to marry this girl, you hear?
Oh, Chuck, I do.
Now, stop hanging on me. I've got man's business to take care of here. Got to get their guns. And then you're getting out of this town, Paladin. You hear?
Every word. Every word. Is it all there?
Oh, $943.
Then you can take it all back to your uncle.
Honorable Uncle will thank you for returning money on chess set. Oh, maybe he even give you chess set personally for payment.
Well, if he offers, tell him I accept. And tell him after this to keep his money in a bank.
Oh, yes, sir. I tell him.
Good. Then it's finished.
Yes, sir. Mr. Paladin.
What?
You look fat.
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 Well, I'll tell you, hey, boy, this was the most nutritious trip I ever took.
Today, few people realize that there's a woman behind the throne of England who wields immense power. Her influence resulted in the marriage of Queen Elizabeth to Philip. Her decisive voice abruptly ended the romance between Princess Margaret and Commoner Peter Townsend. Her skillful strategy prevented the greatest court scandal since Edward's abdication. Who is this woman? Marina, the beautiful, brilliant Duchess of Kent. Now, for the first time, you can read her intimate, fascinating life story in the May issue of McCall's magazine. Also in May McCall's, find out the truth about the private life problems that are bothering Bing Crosby and his boys. And read the most complete, detailed guide ever written on Florida versus California. All the facts that can help you decide between the two states as places to live, work, retire, or vacation. Get exciting McCall's for May at all newsstands now. Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman McDonnell, and stars John Dehner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Frank and Doris Hersley, and adapted for radio by John Dawson. Featured in the cast were Jeanette Nolan, Dick Crenna, Barbara Eiler, Vic Perrin, and Barney Phillips. Congratulations to our affiliate station WDBO, Orlando, Florida, which celebrated its 35th birthday Friday, May 1st. Hugh Douglas speaking. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.
You own one of the largest ranches in California. The most cattle, the best land, and the toughest riders. But I'll tell you something, Mr. Crown. The little mission of San Sebastian is going to defeat you.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Dehner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carleton Hotel, headquarters of the man called Paladin.
Mr. Paladin.
Good morning, hey boy.
Oh, hope I don't spoil breakfast, but...
No.
Telegram came for you just now.
Thank you.
Eating breakfast in dining room most unusual for you. Rare occasion?
Hey boy. Who's that young lady? Over there, sitting alone at the table next to the window.
Oh, that young lady checked in 2 days ago. Suite 212.
Alone?
Alone.
Charming.
Charming. Isa, are you up on Telegram?
Oh, yes. Hey, boy. Why don't you ask the young lady if I might join her for a cup of coffee? She must be lonely.
Oh, so early in the morning. Oh, Isa. Oh. Well, rush telegram. What happened? Make social engagement.
Wait a minute, hey, boy.
Oh, now what happened?
I've changed my mind. This telegram's from Mr. Ian Crown in San Sebastian, California. He offers a rather large sum of money. Would you send him a wire, please?
Have gun will travel.
Yes. I'll be leaving on the next stage.
What about poor, charming, lonely young lady?
That'll have to wait until I return. Unfortunately, business comes first.
This is Frank Knight speaking for the world's most honored watch, Longines. In the conquest of the Old West, men won fame through feats of bravery and daring. Today, things are different, but fame can still be won. How wonderful to win a Nobel Prize in Science, a Pulitzer Award in Literature, and Olympic gold medal in sports. These great honors are symbols of achievement. In the field of time, did you know that Longines watches have won more great public honors than any other watch in the world? This is true. The highest authorities have ranked Longines watches as the finest achievement in the science and art of watchmaking. Yet the Longines, the world's most honored watch, styled with distinction, cased in precious metal, promising a lifetime of faultless timekeeping, is not costly. Many models are priced as low as $75. Visit your authorized Longines Whitnor jeweler. He will be honored to serve you.
The stage ride down the Camino Real brought me at last to San Sebastian, one of the mission towns established 100 years ago by the followers of Junipero Serra. I knew this country well, its low green valleys and crisp ocean air. I did not know Ian Crown. I inquired at the stage office.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
How far is it to the Crown Ranch?
Ian Crown's place?
Yes.
A little past a mile southeast of here. Head right on out the main road, then take the fork to the left just before you get to the mission.
Any place I can rent a horse around here?
Well, livery stable's just across the street, mister. Can't miss it. It's the only building on that side.
Thanks.
Senor,
Yes?
would you give something for the mission?
Something for the mission?
Please. You give money?
A donation?
See, please. A donation.
Well, I think we can manage that. I should have $1 in my wallet.
Oh, Senor, you are very rich. So much money.
I see now. Yeah, here we are. Hey, come back here. You little thief.
What happened, mister?
Well, the boy stole my wallet.
Pedro?
You know him?
Yeah, that was Pedro from the mission.
He asked me for a donation, and when I offered him $1, he grabbed my wallet and ran off.
That doesn't seem like Pedro. He's a good boy.
He's got a good wallet. Did you say he's from the mission?
That's right. He lives there.
I hadn't planned on it, but I think I'll pay this mission a visit. I figured that if Crown had waited for me to travel all the way from San Francisco, a few more hours' delay wouldn't hurt, and I wanted my wallet back. It wasn't bulging with money, but there were papers I couldn't replace. At the mission of San Sebastian, a Franciscan monk met me, introducing himself as Father Bartolome. As we walked through the cool, flower-filled courtyard of the lovely old mission, I told the priest about Pedro and what had happened. He invited me to his study.
Won't you be seated, Senor Paladin?
Thank you.
I'm so very sorry about all this. How much money did you have in your wallet?
$22 in cash. There was also a banknote for $50.
I have exactly $22 on my desk. They're undoubtedly yours. Pedro brought it to me less than 30 minutes ago. He was somewhat out of breath and quite nervous. Your story explains his actions. Here you are, Senor Paladin.
Thank you, Father. I don't suppose he said anything about the wallet.
No, Senor.
Do you think he still has it?
Perhaps he can answer that question himself. Will you excuse me, Senor Paladin? Pedro.
Si, Padre.
Would you come in here, please? Hey, Pedro, you know why this man is here.
Si, Padre.
Is it not true that you took his wallet and ran away?
Si.
Hey, that was very wrong, Pedro.
Si, Padre.
Why would you do this?
I'm sorry, Padre. There was so much money. I had to take it for San Sebastian. It was wrong, Padre. I know it was wrong.
Hey, where is the wallet now, my son?
In the stable.
Please get it and bring it back to this room.
Si, Padre.
Father, I'm sorry this has happened. I hope you won't find it necessary to be too severe with the boy.
No, Senor. He has learned his lesson already.
Well, why does Pedro beg for donations for this mission? It's by far the best preserved and the most beautiful of all the missions I've seen.
Oh, si, Senor. San Sebastian is the diamond of all missions. Thanks to Senor Crown.
Ian Crown?
Si. You know him?
No, we haven't met, but I was on my way to his ranch when this happened. But what is his connection with this mission?
Well, Senor, several years ago, before California became a part of the United States, the Mexican government sold the missions to raise defense funds for their treasury. It was then that Senor Crown became the owner of San Sebastian.
You mean Crown bought the mission from the Mexican government?
Si, Senor.
Uh-huh.
Well, most of the others wasted to ruins. This mission prospered under the skilled management of Senor Crown. But then, when President Lincoln signed a bill giving the missions back to the church, Senor Crown was forced to relinquish this mission on the land around it.
He was paid for the land, wasn't he?
Oh, si, Senor. But he was not in sympathy with the price. To compensate for the additional payment he felt was due to him, he took the statue of our patron saint, San Sebastian, from its rightful place in this mission. He is now in his home, and he refuses to return it to us.
Do you think he'll ever give the statue back to the mission?
No, Senor. Not unless we pay him for it.
How much does he want?
$2,000. It's an impossible sum. It would take many years to accumulate that much money.
And that's why Pedro begs for donations.
Our people are most anxious to have the statue returned.
Well, certainly. How much money have you collected, Father?
Senor Paladin, this is not a rich parish. In 10 years, we have secured only $985. Come in.
I have brought the wallet, Padre.
Bueno. Give it to Senor Paladin.
Senor.
Thank you, Pedro.
I'm sorry, Senor. Please forgive me.
Senor Paladin, please check your wallet for the banknote you mentioned.
It's here, Father. Everything's here. Pedro.
Si, Senor.
At the stage office, I was going to give you a donation. You remember?
Si.
Would you accept this $5 gold piece for the statue of San Sebastian?
Oh, si, Senor. Gracias. Gracias.
When friends drop in, let your hospitality show you're sociable in the modern manner. Pepsi, you know, is the favorite of the smart and young at heart.
Be sociable, smart, keep up to date with Pepsi. Drink light, refreshing Pepsi. Stay young and fair and debonair. Be sociable, have a Pepsi.
Have you tried a Pepsi lately?
The green rolling acres that surrounded the Crown Ranch were covered with giant oaks and thousands of black Angus cattle. And a mile beyond the main gate, on a tree-studded knoll, sat the house of Ian Crown, imposing, rich, almost feudal. From my talk with Father Bartolome, I had pictured Crown as the typical elderly, austere rancher. Instead, I found a cordial man who was having more than a share of trouble with an outlaw, Sancho Fernandez.
During the last 3 months, he's robbed 2 of my payroll shipments. And he's run off near 300 head of prime beef. He's got to be stopped, Paladin. I'm depending on you to bring him in.
I've never heard this Fernandez before. Does he confine his activities to this part of the country?
Strictly to my range.
To your range?
Yeah.
Hasn't he been plaguing the other ranchers?
No, just me.
Why has he singled you out?
Well, his brother used to work for me. He was killed in an accident during a cattle drive. Fernandez thinks I'm responsible. But I'm not. The man was thrown from his saddle. It was an accident.
I see.
Hey, let me fill your glass. Huh?
Oh, yes. Thank you very much. That's excellent wine.
Oh, thank you. We make it ourselves. Grapes come from our own vineyard.
You must be proud of this ranch, Mr. Crown. It's one of the finest spreads I've seen.
Yeah. Taken a lot of years, a lot of hard work to make it what it is. I'm not going to let no renegade like Fernandez start nipping away at it. Well, what do you say, Paladin?
I say yes, Mr. Crown. I'll take the job.
For the $1,000?
Right.
Well, that's good, All right. What are your plans?
I don't know yet. It'll take me a few days to learn what I need.
Oh, of course.
This statue, Mr. Crown. I've been admiring it.
Well, that's San Sebastian, Mr. Paladin. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. I was talking to Father Bartolome at the mission this afternoon.
Oh, I see. Suppose he told you what a heathen I am, because I won't give him back your statue.
We didn't discuss your personal
I'll give
faith.
that statue back when I get the money. Man.
Mr. Crown.
Oh, what is it, Carl?
Fernandez. He stopped the stage and took the payroll money.
Oh. Anybody hurt?
No, he made us get out of the stage, took the money from me, and then stampeded the horses.
And that's the 3rd time. Oh, Paladin, this is my foreman, Carl Stocker.
How do you do?
How are you?
Carl here is bringing the payroll money from the bank in Coldwater.
Where did it happen?
About 3 miles before we got into San Sebastian. We had to walk into town.
And he's had plenty of time to hide out. Mr. Crown, you'll be needing more money from the bank to meet the payroll.
That's right.
I'll go up to Coldwater tomorrow and bring it back. Now, you let everybody know I'll be returning alone. On horseback. I had concealed the payroll money under my shirt and was on the trail back from Coldwater. A mile out of San Sebastian, there was still no sign of Sancho Fernandez. But he didn't disappoint me.
Stop, senor! My rifle is pointed directly between your shoulders. It would be a mistake to turn around.
I believe you.
Now, drop your gun belt to the ground. Dismount and stand with your back to me. You have some money for Senor Crown. Where is it?
You're well informed.
Money. Where is it?
In my shirt.
With a gun, no doubt. Do not move. Turn around. Enough, senor. Drop the money to the ground. Careful. Now you may turn around and take a few steps away. that will be far enough. Now, you will not be needing your horse. Now, just stand steady, senor. It's not too long a walk to the rancho. Give my regards to Senor Crown.
Sancho, there's a derringer pointing at your back. Drop your rifle. You won't get far with a hole in your back, Senor Fernandez.
A bunch of the boys are whooping it up every weekday on CBS Radio. Variety spices the airwaves with fun every time CBS Radio turns them loose. The boys are Pat Buttram, Art Linkletter, and Galen Drake. Here's a threesome that's really awesome for its total output of sheer pleasure. The remarkable wit of Buttram, Linkletter's unending imagination in creating stunts and surprises, Galen Drake's way with words and stories. Put them all together, and you have a distinctly flavored, different sound only a network could assemble for your weekday pleasure, and only the CBS Radio Network does. Listen in daily, or as often as you like. With these boys whooping it up as you move about the house, one thing that's out the window with the dust is boredom. The Galen Drake Show, Art Linkletter's House Parties from Hollywood, and Pat Buttram's Just Entertainment. One at a time or all together, they're good, clean fun in every weather. Try 'em often.
Sancho left an easy trail to follow through the yellow wheat fields. He had managed to stay on his horse, but he had lost a lot of blood along the way. His trail led to the mission at San Sebastian.
Senor Paladin.
The Padres told me Fernandez was here.
He is dead. Let us go to my study. Why do you ask for Sancho Fernandez?
Ian Crown hired me to bring him in.
Are you responsible for this?
We had a gunfight a mile or so out of town. He robbed me of some money I was delivering to Crown. I followed him here.
He was almost dead when he arrived. He asked for sanctuary.
Did he have the money on him?
Si, senor. He told me that he wanted to donate it for the statue of San Sebastian.
But that money belongs to Crown.
I suspected that, for we are aware of Sancho's hatred for Senor Crown. I sent Pedro to the ranch to bring Senor Crown here.
Father, I just want you to know that it was unavoidable. Under the circumstances, I had to shoot Sancho.
Si, senor. It was bound to happen. Sancho has been misguided since the death of his brother. Senor Crown. Coming.
Hello, Father. Paladin, I didn't know you was here. Pedro told me Sancho was wounded. Where is he?
He's dead.
How'd it happen?
Gunfight. He ambushed me on the trail back a ways. Ran my horse off and took the money. We exchanged shots. His horse brought him here.
Senor Crown, I believe this belongs to you.
That's the payroll money, Crown.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Father. Sorry you had to get mixed up in my private affairs. Well, let's go on back to the ranch, Paladin.
No, I think I'll stay here, Mr. Crown. I want to take the next stage back to San Francisco.
Well, we've got a little business to finish up.
Yeah, I know. You owe me a check for $1,000.
That's right.
Well, I want you to turn my fee over to the mission.
To what?
And Father Bartolome, you told me you had $985 in the savings fund for the statue.
Well, no, senor, there are $990. You gave Pedro $5, remember?
I remember. Well, here. I would also like to donate this $10. This should bring your savings to an even 1,000. Give it to Mr. Crown.
Well, what are you doing, Paladin?
The $1,000 Father has accumulated these past 10 years along with my fee. Totals $2,000, Mr. Crown. You should be able to return the statue of San Sebastian to the mission in time for Mass this Sunday.
Our American youths are flabby, out of condition physically and mentally. That's a strong statement, isn't it? But an organization called the President's Council on Youth Fitness, brought into being in 1956, was created because of evidence indicating that in this era of technology and science, the fitness of our young men and women has become a matter of increasing concern. This week, Youth Fitness Week, emphasizes that human resiliency springs from mental, emotional, and spiritual as well as physical elements. We should, all of us, take a close look at our community to make sure it is providing youth with the social, educational, and athletic facilities they need to develop into strong, full-rounded individuals. The mental aspect of fitness requires a sound, solid education. If you're a parent of teenagers, be sure they remain in high school through their senior year. If you're a high school student, remember that diploma is much more than just a piece of paper. Stay in school and graduate. Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald and stars John Dehner as Paladin with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Albert Alley and adapted for radio by Frank Michael. Featured in the cast were Lawrence Dobkin, Don Diamond, James Nusser, Richard Beals, and Perry Cook. Hugh Douglas speaking. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.
All right, mister, there it is. You can't get into this mine, we can't get out. It's just a question of the lack of water and who is forced to give up first.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Dehner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carleton Hotel, headquarters of a man called Paladin.
Oh, Mr. Paladin, I have a note.
No, not just now. Hey, boy, later.
But, Mr. Paladin, not most important.
Quiet, or I'll kill you.
Oh, he's pretty grumpy today.
Hey, boy, over at the writing desk over there. Amber hair, green eyes, and the... go ask the clerk her name, quickly.
Her name, Annette Vargas.
Annette Vargas?
Yes.
It's French. Of course, she had to be French. Is she stopping here?
Yes.
Good. Alone?
Alone.
Excellent. Now, I want you to find the freshest, reddest roses in San Francisco, hey, boy. And you attach this card and take them to her suite.
Oh, yes, sir.
To Mademoiselle Annette from Paladin. Shall we say 8 o'clock for dinner? Sound all right?
Oh, fine. You take his message now?
Yes. What is it, hey, boy? Who's it from?
Mademoiselle Annette.
The what?
She said to give it to you.
Mr. Paladin, could we have a quiet...
quiet dinner in my suite this evening and discuss a mutual friend. Mademoiselle Annette Vargas.
Yes, yeah. Can you do that?
I can do that.
This is Frank Knight speaking for Longines, the world's most honored watch. Some time ago, we published a series of advertisements called The Adventures of Longines. It told how Longines watches helped the pioneer aviators, how Longines was first to circle the globe with Wiley Post, first to fly over the North and South Poles with Admiral Byrd. These true tales prove that whenever time is of the essence, the watch of first choice is Longines, not only in championship sports, or in the competitions at the great world's fairs, or in the accuracy trials of government observatories, but in all fields of precise timing. Yet, when you think of it, a Longines is not costly compared to other things of finest quality. Invest as little as $75 in a Longines, and it can be your proudest possession for a lifetime. Your authorized Longines Whitnor jeweler will be honored to serve you.
The dinner was set for 11 o'clock, late, but Mademoiselle Annette Vargas was appearing in a Continental Review at the Arcadia Music Hall. I attended the performance. On stage, she looked even more radiant than in the hotel lobby, and in the doorway of her suite, more engaging than any woman had a right to appear.
You are Monsieur Paladin?
At your service, Mademoiselle Annette.
Please come in, Monsieur.
Thank you.
And do not be formal with me. I have been in the United States now for nearly 3 years, and I have grown to love what people do with the English language, especially here in the West, and I like it a great deal. Champagne?
I'm overwhelmed, Mademoiselle.
Oh, you are not at all. You are wondering if I am playing some kind of a game with you. I am not, Monsieur. There. Good health.
How about santé?
I said I wanted to speak to you of a mutual friend. He told me of you. He said I would find you a firm, kindly man to be depended upon.
Who is he, Mademoiselle?
Monsieur Lady Kane.
Lady Kane?
Oui. A lonely old man, Monsieur Paladin. You knew of his death?
Yes, I did. But how did you know him? Where did you meet him?
He came to see me backstage at the theater one night in Chicago. He'd watched 35 performances in a row and finally mustered up courage enough to come backstage and tell me that he liked me.
Sounds like Leadhead. Then what?
Well, we dined. It was an enchanting evening. He'd said things to me like, you're so pretty, you make me want to yell. He talked of the sand and the sage, and the searching and the looking. Hard, hard years before he finally became rich. And then he was old. And then he was lonely.
And then he met you.
Yes. He met me. And that was the day before he died. He left me this. Please, read it.
To Miss Annette Vargas, who has been a wonderful friend, I leave my entire share of the Rimrock mine.
Poor, poor darling. I cannot accept it, of course.
Why not?
He must have a family somewhere who...
He was alone in the world, Annette. Had been all his life. No, he meant it for you. You take it. Keep it. I know what he felt.
Oh, but it is too much. I simply can't... Oh, excuse me. Yes?
Oh, you Annette Vargas?
Yes.
My name is Vance Crawford, and I'd like to talk to you about Letty Kane.
Oh, well, of course. Come in.
Yeah?
This is Monsieur Paladin, also a friend of Monsieur Kane.
Paladin.
How do you do?
Look, I'll be brief. Now, Letty found that mine, but I put up the cash to develop it. We were partners. I received a letter from him. apparently written the night before he died, and he stated that he just made out a will leaving you his share of the Rimrock mine.
Yes. Monsieur Paladin and I were...
Well, I'll give you $1,000 for it cash.
$1,000?
Isn't that pretty cheap for a property worth $250,000?
Paladin, look, I don't know who you are or what you do, but I'll tell you this. A probate judge will laugh that will out of court. Now, it's easy to see what she is, and guess what happened? She made a fool out of him. She probably picked him up in a saloon, got him drunk, all the rest of it, tricked him
Monsieur Crawford, please leave.
Look, the estate's going to be settled when the circuit judge stops in Rimrock next week, and you don't have a chance of collecting. Now, how about that $1,000 right now?
The lady asked you to leave.
Better ladies than you have got a lot less than $1,000 for one night's work.
Get out. Now, Miss Vargas, what can I do to help?
What do you need? You need lots of dollars during sicknesses. You need lots of dollars for an accident. You need the kind of protection that only Mutual of Omaha sells. What do you need?
You need health insurance that pays and keeps on paying. Mutual of Omaha, hospital, surgical, and income protection insurance plans that pay liberal, long-term benefits.
Here's what you need.
You need dependable protection that pays promptly. Low-cost plans by Mutual Benefit Health and Accident Association. Mutual of Omaha. Call your local Mutual of Omaha agent listed in the yellow pages. Or write Mutual of Omaha, Omaha, Nebraska, for details on protection that pays and keeps on paying.
Mutual of Omaha pays so promptly it is the first company ever to pay out more than $1 billion in health and accident benefits in its first 50 years. Find out how this low-cost protection can help you. Write Mutual of Omaha, Omaha, Nebraska.
If you will carry the gun, I will be delighted to travel. That is the way Mademoiselle Annette Vargas stated the matter. And that is the way the matter was handled. We took the stage into Rimrock, rented a buckboard at the hotel, and drove out to inspect the Rimrock mine.
Yes. Yes.
Hmm?
Yes.
Yes, what?
He told me it was barren. It is. But in a beautiful way. Letty would have said purty. He used that word a great deal. It's purty when the sand and the sage change color. When the clouds chase over them. You want to tell the whole world about it. Only there's nobody there. Nobody to see what you see. Feel what you feel. And it ain't pretty no more. Poor dear Letty.
Let me help you down.
Thank you.
So, how's it feel to be a lady of property?
Is this all there is to it? This hole in the ground?
They've only started to develop this mine in the last year, but there's $500,000 in that hole in the ground.
Oh. Why aren't people working here?
I've been wondering that myself. Down. That explains why there isn't anyone around. Witnesses would be embarrassing.
Witnesses to what?
Witnesses to your death. Come on.
Oh, where?
The mine shaft. Careful now. Keep your head down. We're safe here. You all right?
Yes. Yes, I think so.
3 of them. But they can't reach us back here.
But you had a gun, too. Why cannot you shoot them back?
It'd be a waste of lead. They're using rifles. That gives them twice the range on me.
Who are they?
That's a good question. Who are you?
Friends of the rightful owner.
What do you want?
We want her.
Come and get her.
No hurry. I'm not going anywhere. Neither are you.
That's it. They can't get in. We can't get out.
What time do you think it is?
I don't know. Must be close to midnight.
It's you. What is that?
Coyote.
Oh.
Full moon always bothers them.
Is there no other way out of the mine?
A few air shafts. Too small to climb through.
What can they possibly gain keeping us here?
Time. Leadhead's estate is due to be settled in court first thing tomorrow.
Oh, I see. And if I do not show up with the will, it will all go to that man, Crawford.
That's right.
We must get past them. Get out of here.
You stay where you are, Annette. They'll just shoot us down running.
What can we do?
Come here. All right, now here. Take my gun and my hat. Now, you see the man down there with the rifle?
Oui.
You crawl straight for him.
He will shoot at me.
No, he'll shoot at my hat. On this stick here. And let him. And while he's watching you, I'll try to circle around behind him.
I see. I go.
Be careful. As soon as he's seen you, I'll start around.
Get back in your cave, bucko. Looks like it's going to be a long night. I'm going to blow your head clean off next time, mister.
Nice and still, or I'll blow a hole in your back.
How'd you get out of there?
Right now. You call your men. Tell them you're leaving. You'll be back in a couple of hours. Call them.
Shorty? Joe, I'm cutting out. I'll be back later. A couple of hours.
Tell them to stay on guard.
You two stay on guard.
What's Andy?
You have to see Crawford.
I got to talk to the boss. Do what I tell you, here.
That was perfect. Now to show my appreciation. Mademoiselle Annette,
Oui, monsieur. It is now safe?
it is now safe.
Sociable, up to date, debonair.
What's this, a new word game?
No, I'm just mentioning the qualities that people admire in other people.
Oh, I see. If you're sociable, up to date, and what was that other word? Debonair?
Yes, debonair. But listen to it this way. Be sociable, look smart, keep up to date with Pepsi, drink light, refreshing Pepsi, stay young and fair and debonair, be sociable, have a Pepsi.
Notice how many of your friends are serving Pepsi-Cola these days. It's the up-to-date refreshment.
Be sociable, serve Pepsi.
The saloon in Rim Rock was set up as a court, with a small table at one end for the judge. He was a flinty-faced man in his late 60s. The room was crowded with miners and prospectors.
Order! All right, now, let's come to order. First order of business before this court is settling the estate of Leadhead Kane. All interested parties present?
I believe I'm the only interested party, Judge. The name of Crawford, Mr. Kane's partner.
Well, I don't see that there's anything to settle. Leadhead didn't leave any heirs, so I guess...
Just a minute, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor, before you rule on this case, I'd like to be heard.
Oh, who are you?
My name is Paladin. I represent Annette Vargas, who is entitled to Leadhead Kane's estate by virtue of this document. Leadhead's last will and testament.
Now, let me see that thing.
Oh, that's a fraud, Judge. That will don't mean a thing.
You just can't come in here with a piece of paper and
It's
say...
been properly witnessed.
Well,
Your
all
Honor.
right, Leadhead did write it, but he was tricked. And you all knew Leadhead. How many of you ever heard him talk about Annette Vargas? Any of you? Of course not. Only knew her one night. Judge, this here Mademoiselle Vargas just a cheap entertainer caught Leadhead in a trap. Which is why I say this here will should be thrown out, Judge.
Can't be too much argument with that. I hereby declare...
Just a minute, Your Honor. Aren't you going to hear my side?
I can't see that you got one.
I assure you I do, Your Honor.
All right, but make it short.
The question to be decided here is, was Leadhead coerced or even seduced into making this will?
And it's up to you to answer that question to my satisfaction.
I'll be glad to try, Your Honor, but to a jury.
Well, this is no criminal case.
I believe it is. Because if Mr. Crawford's charges are true, then Mademoiselle Annette is really guilty of extortion. And so am I. And extortion is a criminal offense.
Are you willing to stand on that? If a jury finds against you, you admit extortion?
I will.
You go to jail. You and that Miss Vargas, too.
I realize that, too.
All right. It'll take a while to pick a jury.
Well, it doesn't have to be a full panel, Your Honor. Any 6 men or 4 men.
All right, you.
Hey, Judge,
you over there, and you at the bar.
Just a minute, Judge. I don't know that this here is legal.
I've never seen these men in my life.
It's his neck. All right, come up here, all right. Now, sit down there and listen sharp. All right, go ahead, Mr. Paladin.
Gentlemen, I don't know anything about you, but in each one of you I see something of Leadhead Kane. It's in your eyes. Loneliness. That look was in Leadhead's eyes, too. And he struck it rich. He could buy anything in the world except what he really wanted. Affection, understanding, friendship. Then one night he went to a theater, and he saw a pretty girl on the stage. And he went to see her again and again until at last he met her face to face. Like you see her now. Mademoiselle Annette, will you please stand? Now put yourself in his place that night. He had her to talk to laugh with him, to sympathize with him, to listen as he spoke of his loneliness and his despair, and to love him a little bit. Now, gentlemen, I ask each of you to be Leadhead Kane for just 1 second of that night. And then tell me, what would you have done?
The same dang thing old Leonard did. Surely appreciated it. Order. Well, this is highly irregular, but a verdict's a verdict. This will of Leadhead Kane's leaving his share of Rimrock Mine to Annette Vargas is proper and valid.
Well, the papers from Rimrock County came through today. There's your mine.
Now that I have it, what shall I do with it, monsieur?
Let it sit if you wish. It'll be a very nice income for the rest of your life.
Well, I have an income for the rest of my life. Ah, those old men. Those wonderful, keen searchers for things in the ground. I will always see their eyes and feel their loneliness.
Oh, here are the glasses, Mr. Paladin.
Thank you, hey boy. Would you open the wine, please?
Oh, yes, sir. Shall I pour?
Yes, you pour. So, shall we drink to the mine?
No. No, I would like to drink a toast to something else. To Letty.
And so would I. To Letty Kane.
You folks who enjoy the action and suspense on Have Gun Will Travel will want to read the tense, exciting story of Kurt Sumpf in the current issue of Look magazine. Kurt was shot at, his wife beaten by hoodlums, his son viciously taunted by schoolmates, and the town turned its back on Kurt Sumpf and his family. Why? Is it because Sumpf is a Jew in Germany? Were the bullies that attacked him and destroyed his business really just rowdy hoodlums? Or does this signal a new wave of anti-Semitic terror in Germany? Find out in Look magazine. Learn in Look how this brave family fought back. Why did American soldiers come to their aid? How did local and national authorities react to this brutality? Don't miss this chilling, behind-the-scenes story in Look of a man's lonely fight against bigotry and hatred. For a gripping story of heroism and hate, read Hitlerism in 1959, A Jew's Fate in Germany. It's in the latest issue of Look magazine at your newsstands now. Get Look today. Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman McDonnell, and stars John Dehner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Albert Alley and adapted for radio by John Dawson. Featured in the cast were Lynn Allen, Joseph Kearns, Harry Bartell, and James Nusser. Hugh Douglas speaking. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.
As birds are caught in a snare, so are the sons of man snared in an evil time.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Dehner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carleton Hotel, headquarters of the man called Paladin.
Oh, hey, boy.
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Paladin.
Mr. Malone and I are going up to my suite to finish our business. Will you bring up some whiskey and soda, please?
Yes, sir, Mr. Paladin, right away.
This way, Mr. Malone. $50,000. It's quite a haul.
I told you that off the record, Paladin. I haven't let the amount of our loss be known. It not only close the bank, it would ruin the town.
I'd like to help you, Malone, but you don't give me much to go on. Here we are. Come right in.
Thank you.
Sit down.
Oh, it was a cleverly planned robbery, all right.
5 men, you say?
Yeah, but when the deputies caught up with him just outside of town, there were only 4. In the gunfight that followed, 2 were killed and 2 got away.
And the 5th?
He must have been the ringleader. We figure he ran out on his men with the money.
Any idea who it was?
I have every reason to believe it was Pappy French.
Pappy French?
You've heard of him?
Yeah. Ever since I've been in the West, but I never believed in him. I always figured he was some sort of a legend.
Oh, Pappy French is very real.
Did you ever see him?
No.
Ever know anyone who did?
No.
And you want me to find him?
I want you to find my bank's $50,000.
Come in.
Your whiskey or soda?
Oh, thank you. Hey, boy, I'm leaving in the morning.
Oh, where you go this time, Mr. Paladin?
I'm going to track down $50,000 and a legend.
This is Frank Knight speaking for the world's most honored watch, Longines. In the conquest of the Old West, men won fame through feats of bravery and daring. Today, things are different, but fame can still be won. It's wonderful to win a Nobel Prize in Science, a Pulitzer Award in Literature, an Olympic gold medal in sports. In the field of time, did you know that Longines watches have won more great public honors than any other watch in the world? This is true. The highest authorities have ranked Longines watches as the finest achievement in the science and art of watchmaking. Yet, for a surprisingly modest cost, you may own or proudly give a Longines, the world's most honored watch, the world's most honored gift, styled with distinction, cased in precious metal, promising a lifetime of faultless timekeeping. Visit your authorized Longines Whitnor jeweler. He will be honored to serve you.
Malone filled me in on the information he had, but it wasn't much. I had only a general direction and a cold trail. I wasted the first 2 days on a false lead, but shortly after dawn of the third day, I picked up some tracks that led through timber and on into hill country. By noon, I began to think I was wrong again, and then I heard a single shot. I worked my way forward and stopped suddenly at the edge of a clearing. The man was sprawled awkwardly on the ground, his right leg crumpled under him.
I suppose you give me a hand up, huh?
Suppose you put that gun away.
Well, all right. Oh, come on, help me.
What was the shot I heard?
Oh, my horse. I couldn't stand it no longer. Watching the critter suffer. Stumbled he did and come to grief. Throwed me. Well, how about that hand up?
I'm afraid you came to grief, too. Looks like you've got a broken leg.
Oh, you a doctor?
No.
Well, how you know it's broke? Well, come on.
All right. Give me your hand.
All right. Take it easy. Oh, wait. No. Now, hold on. Oh, just let me catch my breath. We'll try again. All right, now. No. Put me down. Oh.
Maybe you better let me take a look at your leg.
You know something about setting bones?
Enough to get you to a doctor.
No, I don't want a doctor. But if you know how, go ahead. You fix it.
Well, I'll have to find something to use for splints. It'll hurt.
Oh, ain't nobody man enough to do a thing old Pappy can't take.
And you're Pappy French.
Maybe I am, maybe I ain't. What's it to you?
Let's get you fixed up first. We can talk later.
I guess I passed out.
I guess you did.
Hey, that's a right nice job, mister. Good as any doctor could do. I reckon it'll get me where I want to go.
Where's that?
Well, I didn't ask you your business, did I?
Well, I don't think you'll get very far on that leg.
Oh, I don't aim to be walking. I aim to borrow your horse. Hope you got no objections, because if you do,
This what you're looking for?
Now, how'd you get my gun? Huh? How'd you get it?
I only agreed to fix your leg. Nothing more.
Say, mister, you're pretty slick. Yes, sir, I like you. Hey, listen here. You help me to get where I'm going, and I'll cut you in.
You'll cut me in on what?
A satchel with $50,000 in it. What would you say if I cut you in for, maybe 10% of that?
Well, it would depend on whose money it was.
It'd be your money after I give it to you. What do you want to ask many fool questions for?
I'd like to know what the prospects are before I drop my present job.
Oh, what job's that?
To recover some money robbed from a bank in Merced last week.
Oh, that's so.
$50,000 to be exact.
Well, now, ain't that a remarkable coincidence?
You gonna lead me to it?
I reckon I ain't got much choice. Have I?
No, not much.
Come to think on it, you ain't too good off yourself.
What do you need? You need lots of dollars during sicknesses. You need lots of dollars for an accident. You need the kind of protection that only Only Mutual of Omaha sells what you need.
You need Mutual of Omaha's longer, stronger hospital insurance. Modern hospital insurance that's right for you. Single men and women, entire families, even senior citizens, no matter how old, can be protected by Mutual of Omaha hospital insurance.
Here's what you need.
You need modern insurance to help meet today's higher costs. Longer, stronger hospital insurance by Mutual Benefit Health and Accident Association. Call your local Mutual of Omaha agent in the Yellow Pages or write Mutual of Omaha, Omaha, Nebraska for information on plans available in your state.
And remember this, you can save money when you add Mutual of Omaha long-term coverage to your group insurance. The savings you make depend on your age and the type of group insurance you have. Write for details to Mutual of Omaha, Omaha, Nebraska.
The way Pappy pointed out led into rough mountain country. The going was slow and difficult. I walked, leading the horse, while the old man hung in the saddle, gritting his teeth against the pain.
Paladin.
Yeah?
It might be a notion to stop and rest a bit.
There's not much cover here, in case anyone's looking for you.
Oh, who'd be looking for me? Excepting you.
You ran out on your partners on that bank job, didn't you?
Well...
You took the money and left them to fight it out with the deputies?
All right, what if I did? I figured they was young enough to make themselves another stake. For me, it was my one last chance.
That's one way to look at it.
Oh, they probably all got killed anyway.
2 of them got away.
Say, is that so? 2 of them, huh?
They're probably mighty anxious to find out what their leader did with all that money.
Well, was one of them a kid named Morley, a young punk with a 2-hair mustache?
Morley? Yeah, the other one they called Bull.
Bull? Oh, he don't count, but that Morley. He always did want to carve himself a reputation out of my hide. Well, come on, let's move.
All right. There's no telling how close your friends might be.
Friends? Mister, 40 years I've been at odds with the law. I rode with many a man in that time, but you can't show me one I ever called friend.
Quite a record. I suppose you're proud of it.
Oh, lead the horse and quit preaching over me. I ain't dead yet. Cold grub.
No, we can't take a chance on a fire. Unless you'd like to have Morley in to dine with us.
Paladin, what if I offer you half the money?
That money's going back to the bank.
Now, supposing I change my mind about showing you where the money's hid.
You could do that?
Well, all right. That's just what I'm going to do. Take me in. Have them lock me up. I don't care.
You mean it?
Yes, sir. The man who hired you ain't ever going to see his money again.
You finished with that plate?
Yeah, here. Well, what you doing?
Getting my gear together.
Where are you going?
Well, I'm not making any money sitting here looking at you. Might as well go back to town and get a good night's sleep in a hotel bed.
What about me?
I'll send some people for you in the morning. I'll tell them to bring both a stretcher and a shovel, depending on who finds you first, they or Morley.
Paladin...
You like me to make a fire before I go?
No.
I think it's pretty cold up here at night.
I don't want no fire.
Suit yourself. Good night, Pappy.
Paladin. Paladin.
Yeah?
All right, you win.
How's that?
You win. I'll take you there in the morning.
Just make up your mind, Pappy. One way or another, I'd like to get some sleep.
I still think you want it all for yourself, the whole 50,000.
Well, that's always a possibility.
I've seen lots of men talk big before they had Temptation Lane right in front of them. They sang a different tune then.
You may have a point there, Pappy. Good night.
Hey, ain't we going to share standing watch?
Expecting company?
Oh, that Morley kid can track like an Indian.
Wake me when you get tired. I don't think it'll bother us until we got the money.
You expect me to stand watch without a gun?
Oh, there, here. Your gun.
Oh.
Don't go shooting at shadows now. That's the quickest way to attract visitors.
Listen, Sonny, I've camped out once or twice before in my life.
Sure. Good night, Pappy.
Think I need you, don't you? Pappy French don't need no man's charity. Paladin. Hey, Paladin.
Hmm?
Can you figure one good reason why I don't shoot you in the back?
5 good reasons, Pappy. The bullets. They're here, in my saddlebag.
What? That's a rotten way to treat a man.
Just before I fell asleep, I took a long look at Pappy French, sitting alone, swinging an empty gun on the ghosts and torments of 40 years. I couldn't help him. I wished I could. Then I was awakened by a sound from out in the darkness, and I knew we had more than ghosts to think about. Hey, Pappy. Pappy!
Huh? What's it? Oh, I reckon I must have dozed off.
Fine guard you are. Listen.
Paladin, give me my bullets.
Take it easy, Pappy.
Hey, they've rode off. Now, what do you make of that?
Well, they have us staked out now. Probably figure we won't start till sunup.
Oh, and then they aim to trail us to the money and then move in on us. Why let them do the choosing? Let's go after them.
Until we get the money, I'm not taking any chances on you getting shot.
You know, Paladin, you're a man of sound reasoning. I figure maybe you'll listen to a deal yet.
Feel able to travel yet, Pappy?
Yes, of course I do.
I'll bring the horse up.
Hey, Paladin, would you let me keep 10,000 of it? That and a day's head start to the border?
You don't give up easy, do you, Pappy?
No, I don't. Might be something for you to keep in mind.
When friends drop in, let your hospitality show you're sociable in the modern manner. Pepsi, you know, is a favorite of the smart and young at heart.
Be sociable, look smart, keep up to date with Pepsi. Drink light, refreshing Pepsi. Stay young and fair and debonair. Be sociable, have a Pepsi.
Have you tried a Pepsi lately?
Paladin,
Yeah.
look behind. That dust just over the far draw.
Yeah, they're gaining on us.
Why put off the job we got to do with them fellas?
My job is to get that money.
Yeah, but this here's a good place for an ambush. Come on, give me my cartridges. We'll wait for them.
Pappy, we aren't shooting anyone in cold blood.
Oh, what's the matter with you, boy?
You've lived by your rules, Pappy. I'll live by mine.
A man does what he's driven to do. You can't escape your fate no more than you can pick your father.
You really believe that, huh?
I believe in making the best of a bad job. 40 years of it. Not a scar on my body, not a slash, not a bullet hole. And dang few days were spent behind bars. No, sir. Pappy French lived high on the hog.
That's an impressive statement, Pappy. What have you got to show for it?
$42 and a handful of jingling silver.
Comes to just a little better than $1 a year.
Yeah, that's how it figures, don't it? All right, hold up a minute. Now, you see the boulder on that ledge up yonder?
Yeah?
Under there's $50,000. Chance to live out my years in comfort and respect.
That's it, huh?
That's it. Well, go on. Go dig it up, Paladin. And if you won't listen to reason, as soon as I get a chance, I'm going to fight you for it.
That boulder was heavy, and I was working against time. The men on our trail were closing the distance between us fast. Hey, Pappy, how did you ever move this boulder?
The deputies was close on me. Oh, there's lots of strength in a desperate man. There you are. Now it's buried shallow. Now once more, Paladin, will you make a deal?
No.
You going to take me in?
It's all I can do. For your sake, Pappy. I'll never make it alone. Here it is. The satchel.
All right, open it.
There.
It's pretty, ain't it? Okay, I'll take it now.
Pappy, I told you
The
that...
bullets ain't in your saddlebag no more, Paladin. They're in this gun.
Don't make a mistake, Pappy.
You believe me
No,
now?
that's pretty stupid. We'll have Morley on us in a minute.
That's what I'm aiming for. If I can't do business with you, I'll join up with them.
The men you double-crossed?
Sure. We'll just let bygones be bygones and get back where we started.
You think you can do that?
And why not?
Well, you'll have a chance to find out. They'll be here any minute.
Yes, they will. In the meantime, I might as lief have your gun.
After he took my gun, Pappy dragged himself to the rim of the ledge and slowly, painfully, leaning against a rock, pulled himself erect. For a moment, I had a glimpse of the man he once must have been as he faced Morley and Bull. They circled to a stop below him.
Howdy, boys. Come on up. It's payday. Share and share alike.
Why, you lying, double-crossing old fool, this is too good for you.
Pappy? Here, Pappy. Now, here. Come on, behind this rock. Give me back my gun.
All right.
Now, you hurt bad.
You hear what he called me, old fool?
Hey, we don't have much cover here.
Don't you know when it's time to cut your losses? Go on, get out, save yourself.
We'll get out of this together, Pappy. Or we won't get out at all.
Oh, what's the matter with you, Paladin?
Can you handle that gun of yours?
Yes, I can. I got a few rounds left. And I'm going to crawl out there to the edge and make them count.
No, Pappy.
Oh,
Must stay back.
Leave me be, Paladin. I got something to do. Darn smart Alex. Hey, Marley!
Pappy?
I made him
Pappy?
count, didn't I? Oh.
Yes, you did. Here, let me help.
No, it's no use, Paladin. Leave me be. That dirty-nosed kid made his count, too. Oh, don't matter. I reckon I'm getting old for this game. It's time to rest. Man ought to know when it's time for him to quit. Ain't that right, friend?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's right. Friend.
Oh, Mr. Paladin, look like you have most exhausting trip. I carry saddlebag for you.
Thank you, hey boy.
You'll find a $50,000?
Yes?
Oh, you bring back?
Yes, the $50,000 is in the bank where it belongs.
You'll find a legend?
No. No legend. I found a lonely, tired old man.
A lonely, tired old man.
That's right.
Well, where is he? You bring him back?
No. There was a spot on the hillside where the old man had buried some dreams. I left him there.
CBS Radio and its affiliated stations from coast to coast welcome 7 new stations to the electronic fold. Beginning today, these stations will bring extra listening dimension to millions of Midwestern homes through the news of CBS News and programming of CBS Radio. Adding the laughter from Amos and Andy, Mitch Miller's sparkling Sunday sideshow of stars, the surprises of House Party, America's winning 7 daytime dramas heard every weekday, and the entire week-long schedule only a network like CBS Radio can provide. A hearty welcome from the CBS Radio Network to station WKMH in Detroit, station WKMF in Flint, station WKHM in Jackson, station WHLS in Port Huron, station WLEW in Bad Axe, station WSGW in Saginaw, all in Michigan, and station WTOD in Toledo, Ohio. CBS Radio deems itself privileged to add its broadcast product to the outstanding local schedules of each of these stations. Dial in style with the new Midwestern affiliates of CBS Radio. Have gun, will travel. created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman McDonnell and stars John Dehner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Simon Winselberg and adapted for radio by Ann Dowd. Featured in the cast were Joseph Kearns as Pappy French and Harry Bartell as Mr. Malone. This is Hugh Douglas speaking. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.
You can fight the duel, or chance having your throat cut some dark night. Either way, you'll die before the week is out.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Dehner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carleton Hotel, headquarters of the man called Paladin.
Mr. Paladin! Mr. Paladin!
Over here, hey boy.
Oh. I have message for you, Mr. Hey, Mr. Paladin, why are you sitting in that chair facing door to the dining room?
Go away, hey boy.
Oh, what's the matter with your old chair, Mr. Paladin? You get a much better view of hotel lobby.
Hey boy, be gone.
Yes, sir. Whatever you say, Mr. Paladin.
Oh, wait, the message.
Oh, you say be gone. Hey, boy, be go.
The message, hey boy.
Hey, boy, just cannot think why you sit in hard chair facing closed door of dining room when old chair give fine view of hotel lobby.
Hey boy, there are some things that are my own business. Now give me the message.
Yes, sir. Oh, it's going to drive hey boy crazy.
John Sutherland. Was very interesting. Very interesting indeed.
You send answer to interesting message?
Yes.
Same old stuff?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Have gone, will travel.
Just go and send it, hey boy.
Yes, sir.
Well?
Mr. Paladin, this chair not good for you. You all mixed up. Forget to tell hey boy where to send a message.
Yeah, I'm sorry. To Mr. John Sutherland, Nob Hill.
Yes, sir.
Oh, there. There she is. There you are, hey boy.
Oh. Hey, boy, take it back all the reckless statements, Mr. Paladin. This the best chair in hotel.
This is Frank Knight speaking for Longines, the world's most honored watch. It's wonderful to win a Nobel Prize in Science, a Pulitzer Award in Literature, an Olympic gold medal in sports. In the field of time, did you know that Longines watches have won more great public honors for excellence, elegance, and accuracy than any other watch in the world? This is true. For close to a century, the highest authorities have ranked Longines watches as the finest achievement in the science and art of watchmaking. Yet, for a surprisingly modest cost, you may own or proudly give a Longines, the world's most honored watch, the world's most honored gift, styled with distinction, cased in precious metal, promising a lifetime of faultless timekeeping. See your authorized Longines Whitnor jeweler. He will be honored to serve you.
John Sutherland, ship owner. His estate high on Nob Hill commanded a view of the bay, where never less than 2 of his sailing vessels lay at anchor. The Sutherland family had brought a great deal of wealth to San Francisco, and to themselves.
Yes?
Paladin to see Mr. Sutherland.
Oh, yes. Father's expecting you, Mr. Paladin. He's in the new building.
A new building?
Oh, I'm sorry. You've never been here before.
No, no.
Well, you're a very privileged person, Mr. Paladin.
I am?
Yes. No one has been allowed in the new building since it was built. We're not even allowed to go near it. But you're to go there immediately.
Fine. Is on the grounds?
You just follow the path behind you, Mr. Paladin. You can't possibly miss it.
Thank you.
Mr. Paladin?
Yes?
I think you should know something. I'm very curious about you.
I shall try not to disappoint you, Miss...
I'm Elizabeth Sutherland.
Miss Sutherland. There had been many stories about John Sutherland. That he'd sailed around the world some 50 times. That he'd married a Chinese princess in his travels. That he'd ridden an elephant hunting tigers in India. That he'd killed 10 men in a fight in the West Indies. But in truth, I actually knew nothing about the man except that he was very powerful, very wealthy, and now that he had a very lovely daughter. Then, as I approached the new building, What? Mr. Sutherland! Mr. Sutherland!
Who's there?
Paladin!
Speak up. Who's there?
Paladin!
Mr. Paladin, I'm glad you came. Come in.
Well, I heard gunfire.
Yes. Come in.
You are Mr. Sutherland?
Yes.
Well, may I... Is there anything I can do?
Yes. Treat me as you would any man, Mr. Paladin.
Of course.
I've constructed this room for a specific purpose. I need your help.
Burlap. Layer after layer of burlap on the walls.
It was my intention that the shots not be heard from the outside.
I see. And here, the target. It's never been hit.
That is why I've sent for you, Mr. Paladin. To teach me to shoot.
Teach you?
It's worth $5,000 to me.
Why?
Mr. Paladin, let us understand each other. I'm willing to pay you $5,000 to teach me to shoot, not to ask me why.
$5,000. Mr. Sutherland, I have to accept just to find out why it's worth that much to you.
Oh, good then. You'll stay at my home as my guest. You'll attend all the social functions of my household as a friend. It shall not be unpleasant for you, sir.
Well, thank you.
And we shall practice here daily till I can hit a target merely by hearing its position.
I'll do the best I can.
I'm sure you will. You had heard many things about me, hadn't you, Mr. Paladin?
Oh, yes, I had, but not...
not that I've been blind for almost a year. Totally, completely blind.
What do you need? You need lots of dollars during sicknesses. You need lots of dollars for an accident. You need the kind of protection that only Mutual of Omaha sells. What do you need?
You need health insurance that offers you maximum benefits at minimum cost. Mutual of Omaha Income Protection Insurance with the unusual lifetime benefits feature. Add this long-term protection to your group coverage and save up to 54%, depending on your age and type of group coverage.
Here's what you need.
You need to get the most for your health insurance dollar by insuring with Mutual Benefit Health and Accident Association. For maximum benefits at minimum cost, call your local Mutual of Omaha agent in the Yellow Pages or write Mutual of Omaha, Omaha, Nebraska.
Write for details on the low-cost practical protection you need. You can save up to 54% when you add Mutual of Omaha protection to your group coverage. Write Mutual of Omaha, Omaha, Nebraska.
A blind man had hired me to teach him to shoot. It was slow, but we worked steadily. Mr. Sutherland's determination was such that by the 10th day, he was hitting the target 3 or 4 times out of 15 tries. My first preoccupation was why. Why would a man in his condition go to this trouble? But he would tell me nothing. I learned quite by accident one evening a few weeks later.
Father, there you are.
Hello, Elizabeth. Tell me, does she look beautiful tonight, Mr. Paladin?
As always. Good evening, Miss Sutherland.
You're very formal, Mr. Paladin.
Oh, I don't mean to be. It's just that...
It's just that you're not a friend of Father.
Elizabeth.
Father, there's something you should know about Mr. Paladin. I've been doing a little checking. In fact, I'll tell everybody.
Elizabeth, you've had too much champagne.
Don't be ridiculous, Father. I'm not a child. Listen to me, everybody. Listen. I've learned something fascinating about our Mr. Paladin. It's wonderful. It's most exciting. I won't tell till everybody's quiet. Our Mr. Paladin is a gunman.
Elizabeth.
Mr. Paladin, won't you give us a demonstration?
Of what, Miss Sutherland? Good manners?
I was thinking of a demonstration with your gun. Do you see that tiny knob on the banister at the head of the staircase?
Yes.
Could you hit it from here?
A good gun handler could.
I asked if you could. I've heard you're very good with a gun. Oh, please entertain us, Mr. Paladin. It's not often we have a professional gunman in our midst.
Elizabeth, stop this.
Oh, no, Father. You know what I really think. I think this man is here because of Jamie.
Elizabeth, I've listened to all I'm going to from you.
Oh, that's it, isn't it? I'm right, aren't I?
Not another word.
Oh, Father.
Mr. Paladin, I apologize to you. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Elizabeth put on quite a show, didn't she?
Oh, Miss Gibson.
But we're getting used to it. She's been upset for several weeks now, ever since it happened.
Ever since what happened?
Ever since Jamie Douglas jilted her.
All right, Miss Sutherland. You ready?
Yes.
Now, as I let go of each string, the ball will tap the target. So you listen very carefully and shoot as quickly as you can.
Yes. Go on, do it.
All right. Hey, you got it. Good. Now, again. Again.
I didn't hear it very well.
And try again. We'll stop now. You're tiring.
No, let me try more.
We've been working all day.
It's my last day, Paladin.
What?
Last night I sent a note to Douglas.
Douglas? Oh, Jamie Douglas?
Yes. He's accepted. The duel is tomorrow.
Duel? You?
You saw Elizabeth last night, Paladin. How she is. I won't have her bearing her shame before our friends any longer. As though she has no one to defend her.
You can't fight him in a duel.
Elizabeth was sweet, loving, a wonderful person before she met Douglas. I tried to tell her he was no good. He was just a cheap gambler. He was only after money, but she wouldn't listen. Then a wealthy, available young widow came along.
Mr. Sutherland, I sympathize with you, but you can't fight a duel.
I should at least have tried.
I can't talk you out of this?
No. Even a blind man must have his self-respect, Mr. Paladin.
May I act as your second?
I'd be honored, sir.
This man, Douglas, you say he's a gambler?
Yes, but Paladin don't meddle in it.
No. No, I merely want to meet the sort of person who would shoot at a blind man. Cut, Douglas.
No. No more, Paladin. You've cleaned me. $1,500.
Well, gentlemen, I guess that's the game, then. That was a good game, Douglas. I enjoyed it.
I'm sure you did.
How about me, Douglas? You owe me $1,000.
I'll pay you.
Be sure you do, Douglas. Bad gambling debts can be a bit unpleasant.
I said I'll get it. Be here tomorrow afternoon.
Just see that you're here.
I will be.
Say, Douglas, I want to talk to you.
What do you want to talk to me about?
I understand that you're going to meet with Mr. Sutherland tomorrow morning.
How do you know Sutherland?
I'm his second.
Look, Paladin, I don't want to kill the old man, but what can I do? He's forcing it.
What are the terms of your duel of honor, Jamie?
Back to back, walk 10 paces, turn, cock the gun, and fire. They're his terms, not mine. I don't intend to shoot to kill.
You may not, but he does. Douglas, you're a dead man.
Against him? I don't think so.
I taught him to shoot. The second he hears your gun cock, he'll kill you.
But how can he?
He will. He'll know where you are by the sound of your gun. Then it'll be too late.
Are you serious?
Of course, there's a way of avoiding the chance of a lucky shot.
How?
I've taken $1,500 from you gambling. You owe another man $1,000. I'll pay you $2,000 to shout and fall when he shoots.
If he's such a good shot, why are you doing this?
Because I don't want him to scar his family name by killing you. $2,000.
How can I be sure he won't hit me?
He won't. I'll load his gun with powder, no bullet. You fire into the ground. He'll think he's wounded you. He'll have his honor.
I'll do it.
Tomorrow morning, then?
Tomorrow morning. McLaren Park, 6 o'clock. And Paladin, you make sure about the load in his gun. No bullet.
No bullet.
$130 people killed by fire at sea, the captain dead, perhaps poisoned, and the chief engineer sat helplessly moaning and wringing his hands. Was there a murderer on board? Now, read in the latest issue of Look magazine the mysterious and incredible story of the ill-fated vessel, the Morro Castle. You folks who enjoy the action and suspense of Have Gun, Will Travel will be particularly fascinated by Look magazine's detailed report of the death of the Morro Castle. Did the chief radio operator deliberately touch off the fire? Or was he really a hero? Were 130 people murdered and the Morro Castle burned to hide evidence that the captain may have been poisoned? Get the chilling answers in Look. Learn in Look about the one man on the ship who was acclaimed for superhuman devotion to duty and how he was later imprisoned for the bludgeon murder of 2 of his neighbors. Find out in Look how it was discovered that there was a pathological fire setter aboard the Morro Castle. Don't miss Fire at Sea in the new issue of Look magazine. It's on your newsstands now. Get Look today.
Gentlemen, you know the procedure.
Yes. Let's get on with it.
Back to back. On my count, 10 paces. Turn, cock your pistols, and fire. Ready?
Yes. Ready.
On my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Paladin, wait.
What is it?
This
pistol. It doesn't balance right. Paladin, is there a bullet in this gun?
Paladin, you tricked me. There's no bullet in mine either.
All right, then, we'll load them. Both of them.
Do it, Paladin. Immediately.
No, wait a minute.
Load the guns, Paladin.
Mr. Sutherland, look, can't we...
Paladin, load.
No. No, I can't go through with this, no.
Stop him, Paladin, stop him.
Let him go, let him go.
Father! Father! Oh, Father, are you all right?
Elizabeth, what's she doing here, Paladin?
I told her to come. I wanted her to see the kind of man she was wasting herself on.
Oh, Father, I saw him run. I saw Jamie run. Why, he's afraid of you.
Next time I'll have bullets.
No, Father. There'll be no next time. I don't think Jamie will be back.
Elizabeth's right, Mr. Sutherland. Douglas has run. And your daughter has seen him for the coward he is. I ask you, sir, what more satisfaction could you demand?
Perhaps you're right, Paladin. Perhaps you're right.
All right, hey, boy. Now, where was I?
Oh, let me see. The chair was right about here, Mr. Paladin.
Yes, that's fine. She is in the dining room.
Oh, she in there, all right.
You almost finished with her dinner?
She's working on dessert last time I looked.
All right, then. Now, I'll just sit here with the newspaper, and I won't seem too
conspicuous.
Conspicuous, hey, boy.
Yes, sir, that's what I say. You're going to get a good view, all right, Mr. Paladin.
Good. And possibly, if you're not standing around grinning like an ape, possibly I can say hello to her as she goes by. And then, after that, you see, we'll...
I wouldn't say hello, Mr. Paladin.
Oh? Why not, hey, boy?
Then, my darling, after the opera, we can find dancing.
That is why, Mr. Paladin.
Yes, of course.
Yes, sir. He sat here in your chair while you gone, Mr. Paladin.
I understand.
Yes, sir. Old chair still got same fine view of lobby, Mr. Paladin.
No. Not tonight, hey, boy. I feel a little tired.
How many times when you're driving along the road do you flick a lighted cigarette butt out the window? Many people do. They figure that the butt will land on the pavement where it will either burn itself out or be run over and extinguished by the next car that passes. This is what usually happens. But a cigarette sometimes rolls off the road. A gust of wind can carry it into dry underbrush. Then there's trouble. More than one devastating brush or forest fire has been caused by just such carelessness. Don't take a chance on being a firebug. Your car has an ashtray. Please use it. In fact, whenever you're in or near the woods, be extra careful how you use any fire. Remember these simple, effective fire prevention rules. Break all matches in two, then you'll be certain they're not burning. Crush out your cigarette, cigar, and pipe ashes. Don't leave a single spark behind. Keep your campfire under control. Never leave one that's still smoldering. Stir it thoroughly, drown it completely, then repeat the process. Remember, you can prevent forest fires or set them. Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman McDonnell and stars John Dehner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Tom Hanley. Featured in the cast were Jack Moyles as John Sutherland, Tracy Roberts as Elizabeth, Sam Edwards as Douglas, and Barbara Eiler as Miss Gibson. This is Hugh Douglas speaking. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.